Heart the podcast angels sing, glory to the We Bleed Orange and Black holiday special.
I'm the Jelf on the shelf.
Ryan Juras, see the blazing Yule before us.
This is Ryan Moore, Man Tabernacle Choir, singing songs of Tyde Joy.
Yeah.
I used that one last year, but it's a good one.
Did you? Oh, at least it wasn't more Christmas.
That's exactly what you said last year.
I am Andrew Weary Pudding.
It's true, folks. He really is a weary pudding.
This is Elliot, up all night waiting on Santa McMillan.
I know that I should be the sleeping, but maybe he's not far away. So out of the window I'm peeping, hoping to see him in his sleigh. I hope he won't forget to crack his castanets and to his reindeer say, "Oh Pancho, oh Vixen, oh Pedro, oh Blitzen, ole, 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 ole."
Black Lung is Santa propping up the fossil fuel industry by putting countless lumps of coal in stocking every year.
If kids weren't so bad, they wouldn't be getting so much coal.
It's really the kid's fault. You put it on the consumer.
So you think the index of naughtiness scales to carbon emissions?
Yes. If kids weren't bad, they wouldn't get coal. There wouldn't be a need for coal. The only reason they mine coal anymore is for bad kids.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder they can't quit the stuff.
I suppose Santa could give out fake coal, but it would still probably be made out of petroleum.
Yeah, couldn't Santa give out clean burning coal?
In the wooden duck days, he was responsible for a lot of deforestation, so really nothing's changed.
The wooden duck days?
The days of yore when kids would be happy to get a little wooden sailboat or a wooden duck.
He should totally give out Brussels sprouts instead of lumps of coal.
But I don't see any presents for me. Does Santa Claus know who I am? Does Santa Claus even care about me? 'Cause I'm just a Christmas dirtbag, baby. Yeah, I'm just a Christmas dirtbag, baby. Santa forgot all about me, baby.
AVP. Wet Bandits versus Jack Torrence. Who are they?
Well, the Wet Bandits are functionally immortal.
They definitely take a licking.
Marvin Harry. Yeah.
So the Wet Bandits are the thieves from Home Alone,
Oh, okay.
and Jack Torrance is from The Shining.
Okay. All right. Got it.
So what if the Wet Bandits tried to break into the Overlook Hotel on Christmas?
They probably could survive an axe in the back, or stomach, or chest.
What about a baseball bat to the face? Yeah.
They finally did succumb to a snow shovel to the face after everything they went through. So maybe that's really the key. So maybe Jack Torrance has the only weapon capable of killing them.
Do you think Scatman Carruthers would be on the Wet Bandits team or Jack Torrance's team?
Well, both of them are trying to hurt Danny, so likely.
Scatman!
And then they would steal artifacts from the Overlook, and then the artifacts would continue to haunt them after they left.
Making them ever stickier.
What if you replaced Danny with Kevin and had him going against Jack Torrance?
Here's John Paint Can.
You bomb me with one more can, kid, and I'll snap up your cojones and boil them motor oil!
I have another book, Wilde Yuletide of Olde. Here is some mythology and history of Christmases past. And I have a special monster edition. We're going to start with the hag Chauchlevielle. It's French, and I'm sure I didn't pronounce it correctly. She attacks the unfaithful who skip midnight mass on Christmas Eve. She's a gift giver. She rides a donkey and delivers gifts. But she's also a nightmare spirit that stomps on people's throats while they sleep. There's Frau Gode. She drives a pack of hellhounds through the town on Christmas Eve. There is Trot Viel. She impales naughty children on her horns, but she can be placated if a cauldron of hot broth is placed on the doorstep. And in Malta, there is the caw-caw. Any boy born at the stroke of midnight on Christmas Eve is cursed by God to transform every Christmas Eve into a monstrous gray blob that squeezes through the cracks of guilty people's houses and swallows them whole. And then the caw-caw reverts back to human form Christmas morning.
Full.
This ties into this whole idea of being born on Christmas. The Greeks believed that being born on Christmas was an affront to the Virgin Mary, and so children born on Christmas were likely to turn into Kalakantzaros, the weird goat demons. In Poland and Germany, if you're born on Christmas, you're more likely to become a werewolf. In Silesia, a Christmas birthday meant that the child would be either a lawyer or a thief. In Ireland, people born on Christmas could see the little people and command spirits.
Ah, I just missed it.
In England, those born on Christmas would never be hanged, nor drowned, nor troubled by spirits. For the Pennsylvania Dutch, being born on Christmas Eve gave you the power to understand animals. In some English almanacs, if you're born on Christmas that's a Tuesday, you will lead a life of evil. And if you're born on Christmas on a Saturday, you would die within half a year. I feel like that was testable, though.
Yeah.
It only took 6 months to check that one out.
You can't really tell if someone can or cannot communicate with animals, but Jeff, you were that close to being able to see the little people and commune with the spirits, dude.
Or leading a life of evil, or becoming a caw-caw.
I want to be a caw-caw. That's pretty cool. I like to the guilty and destroy them and then return to being a human.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a part of the solution.
A pretty sweet gig. And finally, in the folklore of the Romani, a pumpkin kept after Christmas will turn into a vampire. So here's a quote from a folklorist. The gathered pumpkins stir all by themselves and make a sound like burl, 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 and begin to shake themselves. These pumpkins go around the houses, stables, and rooms at night, all by themselves, but they cannot do great damage, so people are not very afraid of this kind of vampire. I am happy to announce that I saved a bunch of pumpkins, and I will be observing them after Christmas to see if they turn into vampires. I'm very excited about this.
This must be a rule that people made up to avoid flies and other like rodents and stuff.
I think it's so cold there in most places where the Romani are that your pumpkins are going to keep. I mean, they had to make a rule about it, right?
Just superstitious, I guess.
Let me remind you to sell your pumpkin features before Halloween. That's so big.
But why make up that rule? I'm interested in the mythology, but I'm so interested in the real explanations behind the mythology.
I was driving home just this very afternoon, and there was an apartment that had a pumpkin sitting out on the table. And I noticed it and said, why is there still a pumpkin there? So these people are clearly vampires. And the caw-caw needs to come and...
You could stack 3 pumpkins and like wrap them in Christmas lights.
And they could become like a vampire snowman?
Vampire... Oh, I was thinking like a tree, like a pumpkin tree. But yeah, vampire snowman.
McClane meets Mogwai. What's your pitch for Die Hard with Gremlins? The title is the pitch. Die Hard versus Gremlins. That's your movie. Let's green like the second one.
Live green and die hard. Thank you, Drew.
Die Hard takes place in Nakatomi Tower. Gremlins 2 takes place in a Nakatomi Tower-like building.
They've already done airport.
Shopping mall is getting ready to close down because Amazon dominates the marketplace. And a gremlin gets dropped in the fountain. And they're running wild. And they go to the food court and...
Eat after midnight?
Yeah, the whole mall is like derelict.
Yeah, it's like the last day of the mall.
Is it closing on Black Friday? People are just going to pick this mall clean. Everything is going out of business. Everything must go. John McClane works at like the last KB toy store or something.
Disgraced from all of his adventures he's not working at.
Yeah, he's blown up a building. He's blown up an airport.
He's the head of security at the mall. Which is a little bit of a fall from grace from where he was, but...
Paul Blart.
It's the last night of the mall. People are going crazy. Shoppers, store employees are going crazy. And then this pet store somehow gets a gremlin gets loose. It gets wet. It's after midnight. They're staying open like 24 hours to sell everything. The gremlins go evil and they're running through the mall and they figure out how to seal the mall, but John McClane is the only man who can stop all of these gremlins.
What's great is I can see John McClane falling back to his old training, and he's crawling through the air conditioning ducts, which is a tight fit for him, but is no problem for the gremlins. So a tide of gremlins could just come sweeping right through those ducts.
Let's pitch it to Joe Dante. Santa trick. You can have one Star Trek technology for Christmas. Holodeck, replicator, or transporter. I'd be replicating Christmas cakes like a motherfucker. Can the transporter transport you like anywhere or only in a certain small distance?
Anywhere.
Like anywhere in the galaxy?
No. It has a range, but
anywhere on Earth?
Anywhere on Earth easily, and probably like to the moon, maybe Mars.
Oh, man. Well, I think I'd still have to go replicator for the good of humanity. I made my selfish Christmas wish a couple years ago.
What I like about this question is that I think it gets to the idea that you could have any experience in the holodeck, but it wouldn't be real. It would be a simulation. Replicator can make anything, but how much room do you have for stuff? And transporter is about location. You could go different places.
Can the replicator make food? I think it...
Yes, that's like its main job.
If you want to be altruistic about it, like, you can never have too much food.
Right, but all these things have a fuel source. It's not like a hack where you can make infinite food.
You can't, like, feed a country in one day.
Correct. But a transporter could transport water to the desert.
Do some of these have a cooldown time, or they're just a hard limit on how many times we could use them?
Let's say you want to replicate, I don't know, a diamond. It takes however much time to replicate a diamond. So you couldn't replicate 1,000,000 diamonds at once, but there's no cooldown. It's just things take the time they take.
Is replicator a real thing on Star Trek?
Yeah?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm aware of that one.
Basically, all of their food and drink
and clothing
and other items come out of a replicator.
Being a resident of Inglewood and working in the West Side, I'm saying transporter.
Yeah.
The Los Angeles area, everybody says transporter.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards transporter. No more spending an hour in traffic or 2 hours in traffic a day.
If you had a transporter, you'd still go to work?
Well, I'd still have to get food and stuff.
Yeah, you still need money because you don't have a replicator.
You could transport diamonds into your house. You could transport gold into your house.
You'd be stealing it, though.
No, not if it's natural, a diamond mine or...
Don't diamonds have serial numbers?
You'd have to know where they were, though.
Yeah, they do. And I mean, people talk about, I would get all the gold and all the diamonds, but when am I going to take a bar of gold and get it turned in for cash? I'm not going to take a handful of diamonds and say, I got a handful of diamonds, give me money for them.
Lots of places?
On every corner, there's a cash for gold store.
You would have to take it to a black market middleman.
It's what? Why would you have to take?
He's not talking about bars from Fort Knox. He's talking about ore from the ground.
Yeah.
Even that. Where do you take that to? You don't take it to a bank.
An assayer?
Give me this much cash.
Hold on. A replicator could make new diamonds.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to take it from someone, the crown jewels or nothing.
I'm not saying take it, but what do you do once you have a diamond?
You take it to a jewelry store where they buy diamonds.
They're not buying no diamond off no dude walking in off the street.
Yes, they are. Because it would be like a perfect diamond.
In a replicator, not in a transporter.
Guys, every what if question often turns to how do you maximize wealth? Why are you trying to maximize wealth? Because you want security, you want safety, you want to retire, you want to do what you want to do. Because we live in a capitalistic society. Fine. But ultimately, all that money can do is buy you an experience or a thing so you can have that experience in the holodeck. And you don't need to be a trillionaire if you've got a holodeck, if you just want to skydive onto the pyramid.
Good luck eating your hollow food.
The answer is transporter.
Or you could have a replicator that could make gold bars or $100 bills or whatever.
Like, hey man, you want to go to Japan for the weekend? Sure. Wink.
Yeah, I mean,
man,
for me,
be at work at 8:00. Yeah, we'll just leave at 7:50.
For me, it would be transporter because I want to travel and have experiences or bring things closer to me. Whereas replicator, it's like I don't have that much use for stuff. Like, okay, infinite Twinkie is great, but
a replicator leads us to that beautiful Star Trek utopia.
You could use a replicator to make more replicators.
You could use a replicator to make a transporter.
You could use a replicator to make more AR-15s.
Essentially, it is a 3D printer. It is a very advanced 3D printer.
We all know how I feel about transporters, so It's on record.
Santa Trek. Final answer.
Replicator.
And what would you use it for?
Being the hero of the Federation.
All right. Drew, Santa Trek. Which technology do you choose for Christmas?
Transporter.
And what would you use it for?
Transportation of myself and goods.
Elliot?
Transporter. Got to be at work at 8. Leave till 7:45.
Going to the office.
Stumble in, pull on a pair of pants and a shirt. Beep. I'm on time. 5 o'clock rolls around, and me and transport me to McDonald's. Grab my dinner. I can walk home from there.
I don't want to say it's a failure of imagination, but Elliot is the kind of person that would win $1 billion jackpot and still go to work.
Yeah, 'cause,
You're a mean one, Mr. Spock. You really are the heel. You're as cuddly as a Klingon. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Spock.
Let's talk turkey. So I've long argued that we need to bolster Thanksgiving to be a speed bump that slows down the Christmas creep. My solution is a holiday figure named Thanksy, the grateful handprint turkey. But I think what we really need are some good Thanksgiving songs. It turns out that Jingle Bells was originally written about Thanksgiving sleigh races in New England, and it was later co-opted by Christmas. It was first recorded in 1889 on an Edison cylinder. It was believed to be the first Christmas record. Weirdly, it was also one of the first songs ever broadcast from space. On December 16th, 1965, the Gemini 6 astronauts sent a report to Mission Control.
Roger, Houston and Gemini 7, this is Gemini 6. We have an object, looks like a satellite, going from north to south, probably in a polar orbit. He's in a very low trajectory, traveling from north to south.
The astronauts smuggled a harmonica and sleigh bells on board to broadcast a rendition of Jingle Bells. So, Jingle Bells, originally a Thanksgiving song. Also, Over the River and Through the Woods was originally called the New England Boys' Song about Thanksgiving Day. It was by Lydia Maria Child that also got co-opted by Christmas. The reason all of these snowy Thanksgiving songs from New England are so famous is because in the early 19th century, New England was going through a little ice age. Also, the creators of both songs hail from Medford, Massachusetts. But whereas the Jingle Bells guy was a Confederate loving racist, the writer of Over the River and Through the Woods was an abolitionist, women's rights activist, Native American rights activist, novelist, journalist, and opponent of male dominance and white supremacy. And that's your Thanksgiving Minute.
Still got drunk and yelled in your ear about the Red Sox, so.
Yankees
From Medford.
Red Sox rule.
Socks, dude.
Gold Sox.
The B-side of that record was just the sound of an elephant being electrocuted.
Just be thankful for what you got. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean, gangster white wall.
All right, that leads us into the Buck Wild Turkey Day of old. From 1928 until 1932, the giant character balloons in the Macy's parade were released at the end of the route. Each balloon cost about $2,000, so Macy's would offer rewards in the form of gift cards to anyone who found the deflated balloons and returned them. After every Thanksgiving, there would be a scavenger hunt to hunt down and bring back these balloons, which could be aloft for up to a week. They could land in other states. One of the balloons hit a power line in New Jersey and burst into flames. And in 1932, a giant Felix the Cat balloon hit a plane and nearly caused a crash. That was the end of releasing the balloons at the end of the Macy's Day Parade.
Days of Macy's Day Parade. Night of the living dead is on its way. With the credit report for duty call.
Must have been some magic. Can the magic hat that brings Frosty the Snowman to life animate anything? Does it have to be shaped like a person? Is it always Frosty's jolly, happy soul? Can it animate the dead?
You know, it's weird because when people put it on, it doesn't do jack shit.
They're already alive.
It's true.
Could you make a man out of mud, and would it still be Frosty, or would it be a new being? So here's what's really weird about the special. Frosty melts. Santa shows up and says he isn't truly gone because he's made of Christmas snow, which can never disappear completely. When a good jolly December wind kisses it, it will turn into Christmas snow all over again. So Santa opens up the greenhouse door, a winter wind blows in and turns the puddle back into a snowman, but it is a lifeless snowman. But it's not until Santa puts the hat onto Frosty that he comes back to life. So the magic is in the Christmas snow, but it's also in the Christmas hat.
I feel like it's also in the belief of the children.
But what if you put that hat on a corpse?
I don't know if the children would believe enough in the corpse to bring it to life fully.
The children didn't believe in Frosty before they met Frosty.
But they had love for him.
They didn't love Frosty before they met Frosty.
Sure they did. They built him and they gave him the name Frosty.
Some kid's grandma dies on like December 21st.
It's a Christmas corpse. When a cold December wind kisses it.
Waiting on the family to be able to gather from around the country to go to the funeral. He's like, I got this hat. I can put it on my grandma and bring back my dead grandma. That's terrible.
Would it be grandma's personality, or would Frosty's soul force its way into your grandma's corpse?
It would have to be Frosty's soul.
Yeah, he's going to jump from body to body.
Yeah, I mean, because snow doesn't have a soul.
That's right. Has the soul always been trapped in the hat?
The soul is in the hat.
Yeah, yes.
If you put that magic hat on a mannequin, what would happen?
Think of the hat as a cursed item with some sort of imprisoned soul wrapped in it as punishment or something.
100%.
And it just possesses whatever it lands on.
I agree. That hat is a cursed item. Even lesser known Christmas specials. Have you guys ever heard of The Night the Animals Talked, Peace on Earth, or Casper's First Christmas?
I've heard of Casper's First Christmas.
Did you ever see it?
No.
I've heard of The Night the Animals Talked.
I remembered vividly The Night the Animals Talked, based on an old Norwegian legend that the animals in the manger where Jesus was born gained the power of speech so that they could worship Jesus.
The talking is leaving us, but at least we had this one miraculous night when we were able to see the truth. I only hope it's not too late for mankind to find the same truth.
For some reason, the ripples of this miracle are felt throughout time so that kids will sneak out to the barnyard and the stables at midnight to try to overhear the animals speaking. This was referenced back in the Buck-Wild Yuletide of Olde, that kids born on Christmas might have the ability to hear animals speak. It's a really weird Christmas special from like the 60s. Peace on Earth is a post-apocalyptic story about Christian mice celebrating Christmas after the extinction of mankind, after war has wiped out all humans from the face of the earth.
I want to watch that one.
It's pretty good. We should watch it. It's only like 8 minutes long. It definitely is nightmare fuel.
Gee, I'm sure glad there ain't no more men in the world.
And then in Casper's First Christmas is a crossover between Hanna-Barbera and
Harvey Tunes.
Yeah, Harvey Toon. Casper's friend, Harry Scary, is going to get evicted. A bulldozer pulls up to the house, and Santa shows up and disintegrates the bulldozer with Christmas magic. It's wild.
I had a Casper record where Witch Hazel's house was also, I think, going to get destroyed.
It was a common plot in the 80s.
Man, I found one last night called It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, where Mickey Rooney, is his grandpa, and he dies, but he's, allowed to come back for 1 week of Christmas to show the boy the wonders of Christmas in, New York City or something.
Lizzie, what's going on? Papa, he had a heart attack or something. He was putting up the Christmas lights. Mom told him to wait for Dad.
They couldn't save him. I don't understand. An hour ago, he seemed so happy, so full of life.
Papa! Papa!
Back in the day, would you rather trade 15 years off your lifespan to relive your childhood, or add 25 years and become a child in the current era?
Question. Are you an emancipated child in either scenario?
You'd have to emancipate yourself.
I suppose you'd probably die immediately, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I could go back to high school.
It'd be exactly the same for me.
It's got to be childhood.
I'd make all the same mistakes again.
Still not doing any homework. I'm still not talking to any of those girls. I don't want to become a child in the current era. I don't want to be a child again.
Okay.
Because being a child, there were things that I really hated about it. You know, you have to ask permission for everything. You have to let somebody know where you are all the time. And
my life is half over already, and I'm still afraid for my future and everyone's future. But I'd still choose to become a child in the current era just for pure shits and giggles. Like, I already know what my childhood was like, so might as well get a new perspective and really see the apocalypse, because I might miss it.
So you're worried you're going to miss the apocalypse, so you just want to stretch a little bit.
The only reason to continue living is pure morbid curiosity.
He said, Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with those silly toys. Beat you up, don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't make us annoy. Give all the toys to the little rich boys.
Papa Noel-razzi. How would you get evidence of Santa Claus? You could set up a time-lapse camera. I suppose he has methods of getting around that.
I mean, he's moving so fast that even if you had like an infrared beam across your hearth, he could probably see the individual pulses because he travels at relativistic speeds.
That's true. So you couldn't even like set yourself up with those eye hooks from Clockwork Orange and stare at the fireplace all night long because you still wouldn't see him.
You could. I don't know if that would. I don't mean evidence to your senses. I mean like hard evidence that you could sell to the Inquirer.
I saw that MIT created a 1 trillion frame per second camera.
Exactly.
So you would have to have something like that.
They've created it solely with them.
Of capturing evidence of Santa Claus?
But I don't need any further evidence of Santa Claus. Because when I was 5 or 6, my mother left some cake on the table for Santa and a glass of milk. When I woke up in the morning, the cake and the milk were gone, but there were toys under the tree. So who but Santa did that?
Good enough for me.
Mamacita, ¿dónde está Santa Claus? Oh, where is Santa Claus? It's Christmas Eve. Oh, where is Santa Claus? It's Christmas Eve.
Do you hear what I hear? Way up in the sky, little lamb. It's part 2 of the We Bleed Orange and Black holiday special.
Getting these presents together.
You noticed that too, huh?
Damn straight. This year we got a cool with that job.
I'm hip.
Add a little soul to this white Christmas.
I can dig it, boss.
Get a little fun.
Right on, brother.
Come on, Rudolph, hitch up that sleigh. We're gonna fly down and have ourselves a disco Christmas.
Disco Christmas. We're going to hustle around the street on Disco Christmas. Boogie down the chimney. This time we'll do it all right. We're gonna dance until the night. This year we'll rock around. Disco Christmas. Hey, Santa.
Yeah, Rudolph.
I just thought of something.
What's that?
You know, being stuck up here at the North Pole so long,
Yeah.
I never learned how to do the hustle.
Shoot, boy, you can hustle.
Santa,
What now?
hey, I can't boogie neither.
Shame on you, boy. Hey, Rudolph, you want to know something?
Yeah?
I can't dance myself. But let's try to work it out in these new platform boots.
Disco Christmas, we're gonna hustle around the street on a Disco Christmas. Boogie down the chimney. This time we'll do it all right. We're gonna dance until the night. This year we'll rock around a Disco Christmas. Whoa. Whoa.
might scare off all those fine young ladies out there.
You call me ugly?
Is your nose red?
I'm gonna tell all the kids what a giant turkey you are, Santa Claus.
Hold on now.
Tell your mama too.
Wait, I was only kidding.
Disco Christmas, we're gonna bust the wrong tree. On Disco Christmas, we'll be down the chimney. This time we do it all right. We're gonna dance through the night. This year we'll have for us a Disco Christmas. Santa, how about a raise?
You still think I'm a jive turkey?
No, but you fat like a turkey, and I was damn if you could fit down that chimney.
Boy, you sure you want that raise?
Hey, I know what some fine young ladies are.
Rudolph?